on today trying to set this up, people calling, spam calls, everything else. But that's neither here nor there. It is 4:10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I am quite surprised. Fat Brands International filing bankruptcy along with Twin Hospitality. They are the people behind, would you believe it or not, Fatburgers. So Fatburger is going through a lot of changes. Fat Brand International is also manages not only Fatburger, but Johnny Rockets, Smoky Bone, and a few others that I'm going to mention in a little bit. They are 1.3 billion, that's with a B, in debt. And I guess this is in Texas. I guess that's where this is, in Texas. They got 2,200 locations globally of various entities. Now, Twin Hospitality is a spinoff from Fat Brands International because they are to manage their higher social brands. And that's what's so thing about it. What's it? Smoky Bones and another place. That's their top brands. Twin Peaks and Smoky Bones. Sometimes I think these stands a little bit above my head, but nevertheless, we all eat fat burgers. At least some of us. They have been closing up many places. They've been opening up many places. And it's hard to fathom. You see them all over the place now. They used to be primarily, I always thought they were primarily an LA thing. But no, they're not. So Fat Brands currently owns 18 restaurant brands, and I'm going to read all 18 of them. Fat Brands, which also does Fatburger, does Round Table Pizza, Fatburger, of course, Marble Slab Creamery, never heard of them. Johnny Rockets, I heard of them. Fazoli's, I heard of it, never been there. Twin Peaks, which is what Twin Hospitality is managing. That's supposed to be one of their, I guess, higher brands. Great American Cookies. Smoky Bones is another. So Twin Peaks and Smoky Bones is really under the spinoff from Fatburgers, which is, as I keep saying, Twin Hospitality. But it seems like they didn't have enough money to pay their debt, but they're still going to try to reorganize, or they said they are going into bankruptcy because of that debt. But they still plan on, in the next 5 to 7 years, to have 900 more locations. Would you believe that? Hot Dog on a Stick. I think I've seen that place before. Buffalo's Cafe. Never seen that one. Buffalo's Express. Maybe. Hurricane Grill and Wings. Never heard of that place. Pretzel Maker. I think I heard of that. Elevation Burger. That's kind of new. Native Grill and Wings, Yala Mediterranean. Now, these last two had been around some years. I think I talked about them a long time ago, but they've only been around I believe since the late 70s, early 60s, there was a big deal back in those days. In the 80s, a lot of them had closed up. Of course, one of them has something to do with the Western kind of sorta, the Ponderosa and the Bonanza. How close they are, I don't know. But I ate at one of them. I believe it was the Ponderosa Steakhouse a long time in Culver City. They're not there no more that I know of. But I heard there's still a few around, but not around here. So Ponderosa Steakhouse and Bonanza Steakhouse, all those are under Fat Brands International. So they went off into that. So the SEC filings, the stockbrokers, and all that type of stuff, they still want to make money. They're slowing things down, it seems. In what I think they are. One thing they said here is Twin Hospitality Group is a spin-off company that Fat Brands created early last year to operate and manage its top-performing casual brands, Twin Peaks and Smoky Bone, with Fat Brands holding a majority stake. And so it was to, what it says here, to protect it from the parent company's debt. So Fat Brands are planning on use the proceeds to help pay back loans. Declining stock value derailed at Fat Brands' plan. So it said the bankruptcy filings come just days after Twin Peaks' largest bondholder, Investor 352 Funds, sued Fat Brands and demanded it give up shares of the chain as collateral for unpaid debt. So that is what it's about. So it is really surprising to me that Fatburger is suing because they owed a lot of debt. They want to get back on top in some kind of way. They're trying to protect the other two investments, franchises. I always wonder, in my own opinion, how these franchises survive. If they get too big, then there's a lot of people involved. Even when it's small, there seem to be a lot of people involved. Of course, the little investors like me or you who buy the stock in the trading market. Just the other day, I heard that Dutch Brothers stock climbing up to about $80 a share, I believe. So if you want to buy any shares of Dutch Brothers, you better hurry up. Probably should have bought them while they were real low. Now they're up into the $80. How long that will last? But thinking of Dutch Brothers and thinking of Starbucks, one thing that I did notice again, that before Dutch Brothers came into this area, there was Starbucks that had walk-ups. So not only did they have inside places where you eat, they have the drive-through and they have walk-ups. Dutch Brothers definitely walk-ups and drive-through. There are no eating inside. So it is amazing that some of these franchises survive. They're still talking about some of the other places that are closing up in comparison. They're still talking about Denny's, of course, Johnny Rockets. And I did read something about a non-food place, Forever 21. I guess they were a part of the other franchises. I just had a sweatshirt on from them. I don't have it now. But look like Forever 21 is going under. They are closing up. And that is amazing in itself. I read these things sometimes. I don't write them down. But nevertheless, that's what's happening. But just getting to the main crutch of it, the title of this article, they call it a restaurant chain. It has officially filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection due to mounting debt. And so I did mention 1.3 billion. I remember some time ago that we did talk about, at least I did, maybe about a year ago, that fatburgers, some of them closed up, some of them moved, some of them are going to other places where they know that they can get people to buy their food, the walk-in traffic, the other types of traffic, people just driving by. Well, anyway, I just wanted to do that live. Couldn't do it no other way. I probably could have done it without it. But live is alive. Franchises going through a lot of changes. Close up a whole bunch of locations just to save the others. You might not see them in your part of the woods, but maybe there's one at least 5 or 10 miles away that they're not going to close up, and they're definitely going to serve whatever you want to eat in burgers. I'll see you in my next video. Fat Brands, Fat Burger, Chapter 11, bankruptcy. More problems than it was a year ago, and that's why you see such mounting debt now, because there was a problem that kept getting bigger and bigger, and now they need the help. I even read something, I even read something that Brian Nichols, the CEO of Starbucks, because of his contract, has taken an 86% cut. Well, he was making, 80 million or whatever, now it's down to 30-some million, depending on the contract or what's happening with Starbucks. So, I guess franchises today depend on how their contract is worked out. If it's not doing that well, then that means they have to show the difference in what they get paid. If it's doing well, you get paid well. If it's not doing well, then you don't get paid well. But then again, that kind of money, some of us won't even see that much. Most of us don't. I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day. The rest of your evening.